Here is the news at noon. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu inaugurate newly constructed Lagos State Commercial Court at Takpa, Lagos Island. Bauchi State Government approves 872 million naira to boost primary health care. On the foreign scene, former president of Peru wife bag 15 years jail term for money laundering. In sport, Nigeria shines with medals haul at International Table Tennis Para Future Tournament. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has inaugurated the newly constructed Lagos State Commercial Court at Takpa, Lagos Island. This, according to the governor, will serve as an institutional tool for enforcing fiscal and regulatory responsibilities to the state and citizens. Governor Sanwo-Olu describes the new court as a landmark and a game changer to position Lagos as Africa's premier hub for commerce, innovation, and justice, where economic barriers and business dispute would be resolved for economic growth with speedy dispensation of justice.
This court, therefore, is a game changer with a total of 10 state-of-the-art courtrooms with cutting-edge technology and with a team of active judges that are specialized in commercial law. We are creating an environment where businesses, as we say in Lagos, can grow, where businesses can innovate and they can thrive with confidence, knowing fully well that the event of disputes, there's a place that they can go to and justice will truly dispense.
In his remarks, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro, has said the state's government will continue to strengthen its judicial system, called for voluntary compliance from residents to ensure prompt payment of their taxes, levies, and other related financial obligations to the government. Pedro noted that the Lagos State Commercial Court will entertain matters on recovery of taxes, levies, land use charge, and the prosecution of defaulters on tax-related issues.
Commercial courts that we have now is not just a building. It is a profound statement of intent to provide for timely, efficient, and specialized adjudication of commercial disputes in a manner that inspires confidence in the rule of law, support economic growth, encourage investment, promote entrepreneurship, and promote ease of doing business in our state.
On his part, the Chief Judge of Lagos, Kazim Alugba, said the edifice will be used for the administration of justice.
The magistrates' quarters, which Mr. Governor bought for our magistrates and their staff quarters at K2, that is that's also waiting for Mr. Governor's commissioning. It's another magnificent place to behold, and that again further leads credence to the interest of Mr. Governor in ensuring that the judiciary is well placed materially and otherwise to carry out our own mandates, which will bring out the good governance that Lagos have always been known for.
Our correspondent Adiola Kinele reports that the edifice comprises 10 state-of-the-art courtrooms with cutting-edge technology and presence of specialized judges in commercial law. The Lagos State House of Assembly has called on the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to implement the Tenancy Law of the Lagos State 2015 in order to stop deterring landlords from further engaging in illegal and unfair practice. The House also resolved to call on the Commissioner for Information and Strategy to sensitize the public by creating awareness on the rudiment of the tenancy law in the state. And this was sequel to a motion moved by Saad Olumo on the need to curb excessive rent increment by landlords in the state. According to him, Section 37 of the Tenancy Law of Lagos State 2015 made provision against unreasonable increase in rent by landlords and also provided access to court for tenants seeking the protection of the law against such unreasonable increase in rent, thus making it illegal. Olumo noted that the incessant increase in rent is intensifying the rate of homeless people in the state. The Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, in his submission stated that the law is sensitive and should not rely on the information gathered. Obasa directed the Committee on Housing to invite all concerned stakeholders and related agencies to have an interface with a view to finding a lasting solution to the menace. In another development, the House read for the third time a bill for a law to establish the Latif Jakonde Leadership Academy. Subsequently, the Speaker directed the acting clerk, Abubakar Otum, to send a clean copy of the bill to the Governor for assent. Lagos State Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture has announced its plans to host the 2025 edition of the Lagos Fanti Carnival. Speaking at a press conference in Lagos, Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Toke Benson Awoyinka, described the carnival as a vital bridge between history and the future. Benson Awoyinka highlighted its alignment with the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration, particularly in driving tourism, preserving culture, engaging youth, and reviving communities across the state.
To announce an event, but to celebrate a heritage deeply embedded in the fabric of Lagos Island, a heritage that tells the story of return, resilience, and rich cultural rebirth. The Lagos Fancy Carnival is more than a spectacle of color and sound. It is a living expression of history. Its roots date back to the late 19th century, when formerly enslaved Africans, many of them of Yoruba origin, returned from Brazil and other parts of the Americas to reclaim their life and identities in Lagos.
Also speaking at the event, Consul General of Brazil in Lagos, Manuel Inocêncio de Lacerda, spotlighted the rich ties between Brazil and Nigeria. He underscored the Yoruba cultural influence in Brazil, the historical bond forged through transatlantic slave trade, and ongoing collaborations between the two nations. In his contribution, President of the Brazilian Descendant Association, Cola Peregrino, reflected on the agency of Afro-Brazilian communities in Lagos. He shared how descendants of Brittany's slaves from Brazil retained their language, names, food, and customs, which continue to shape the cultural fabric of neighborhoods like Okwaguda today.
We are direct descendants of those that were taken from the Yoruba land during the breakup of the old Oyo Empire to Brazil. And our forefathers came back to Lagos with Brazilian culture and tradition.
The 2025 Lagos Fanti Carnival is expected to be a spectacular celebration blending history, diversity, and unity. Now to the rest of the stories. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has granted approval for the release of 872 million naira as the state counterpart funding to its primary healthcare sector. Bala made it known at the meeting of the State Task Force on Primary Healthcare and the award presentation held at the Banquet Hall, Government House, Bauchi. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Awal Jatau, said at the moment the sum of 261,708,491 naira has been released to the Bauchi PHC board as part of the unwavering commitment of the state government towards expanding access to quality healthcare services, improving healthcare infrastructure, supporting frontline workers to ensure citizens, regardless of location or status, receive the needed healthcare services. Balari assured that his administration will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that necessary funding is provided in an effort to achieve universal health coverage in the state. He appreciated development partners for their technical support, financial contributions, and collaborative effort, which have significantly strengthened the the state healthcare system and emphasized the need for renewed commitment. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has reiterated his administration's commitment to youth empowerment in all 18 local government areas of the state. Aiyedatiwa also promised to deepen his administration's effort in empowering the youth and ensuring a safe, prosperous future for all citizens of the state, stating that 15 youth had been empowered through labor-intensive public workforce programs of his administration. The governor stated this during an interactive session with various youth groups held at the International Center for Culture and Event in Akure. Aiyedatiwa, who expressed appreciation for the overwhelming support shown by the youth during the November 2024 general governorship election, described their contribution as instrumental to his electoral victory across the 18 local government areas of the state. He urged the youth to take advantage of the administration's policies and programs and stay away from actions that could derail the development of the state. In foreign news, Peru's former president, Ollanta Humala, has been found guilty of money laundering and sentenced to 15 years in prison. A court in the capital, Lima, said that Humala had accepted illegal funds from the Brazilian construction company Odebrecht to bankroll his election campaign in 2006 and 2011. His wife, Nadine Heredia, who co-founded the Nationalist Party with Humala, was also found guilty of money laundering and sentenced to 15 years. Peru's foreign ministry said Heredia was granted asylum by Brazil and will have safe passage to travel there with her son. The 62-year-old former president and his wife had denied any wrongdoing. In sport now, Nigeria reaffirmed its status as a top nation in para table tennis at the just concluded International Table Tennis Federation ITTF World Para Future in Amman, Jordan. The team amassed an impressive haul of 5 gold, 7 silver and 2 bronze medals, ranking among the top 3 teams in the tournament. As one of the 3 African countries competing in the event, Nigeria battled for hours alongside host Jordan, Iraq, Indonesia, Egypt, Cyprus, Kuwait, India, United Arab Emirates, South Africa, Germany and Iran. National coach Nasiru Sule praised the team's performance, highlighting the quality of Nigeria's players and calling for more support to prepare for major competitions like the African and World Championships later this year. And that's it on the news at noon. But just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watch towers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has inaugurated the newly constructed Lagos State Commercial Court at Takpa, Lagos Island. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has granted approval for the release of 872 million naira as the state's counterpart funding to its primary healthcare sector. We also told you that Peru's former president Ollanta Humala has been found guilty of money laundering and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Finally, in sport, Nigeria reaffirmed its status as a top nation in para table tennis at the just concluded International Table Tennis Federation ITTF World Para Future in Amman, Jordan. For contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Coyote Afolashiri. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon. Up next is Lunchtime